So if you guys couldn't tell, we're obviously very deep into the off season right now. And it's on Twitter, they've been talking about just different hypotheticals. I saw one and it was comparing SGA is the best Oklahoma City Thunder guard or player, etc., etc. But this specific hypothetical, I felt like I had to bring to y'all and see what y'all thought. Because I feel like when I first saw it, when I woke up, I thought it was an easy choice. But then it's like when you look at the film, I feel like y'all gotta see what I'm seeing, bro. So the tweet that started it was this one where he was like, I don't know why people think Kyrie is better than Chris Paul peak for peak. It is not close to me. So I think when I first woke up and I read the peak for peak, first thing I'm thinking is, I mean, Kyrie got a ring. Isn't that like the most peak as you could get? Especially when it's someone like CP3 who never had a ring. Once I actually woke up and I like really thought about it and thought about Chris Paul's career and then like comparing their two abilities, I was like, wait, no, this is like, I'm tripping. Like, what am I thinking about? And I thought this tweet right here was real, kind of like really signified it. Kyrie's always in conversation he don't belong in because he does cool dribble moves. I've as someone who's always not always, the thing with basketball that's always going to make it sell is scoring. And with Kyrie's best attribute being scoring, I feel like, yeah, there's some truth to that. Like, he's not always in conversations, but he sometimes could be in some conversations he's not supposed to be in. I remember he used to be in the Curry. It was who's the best point guard, it's Curry or Kyrie. Now, granted, that was when Kyrie was more in his prime. Obviously, as time has passed, it's not the same. But what I'm trying to say is, I do feel like Kyrie has very, very good PR, and he does get kind of put in lots of these difficult conversations. I don't think though, and I think that is only solely because his best attribute is scoring. I think it's kind of like the same thing you kind of have with KD, where it's like his best attribute is the fact that he can score whenever. And unlike Kyrie, he can basically score on anybody, anyone, anytime. So people don't understand that, yes, you can score, but at the same time, like, what else are you bringing to the game? That, as you can see, as KD, I'm gonna keep going with the KD example, as he's left his other teams from the Warriors, and because on the Warriors, they only needed him to score. That's it. They didn't need him to do anything else. We went to these other teams where he had to be a more complete basketball player, and he struggled. They needed him to be a creator. They needed him to be a playmaker. They needed him to be a help defender. And I'm not saying he couldn't do those things. I'm saying, especially as he gets older, having him have to do all these different things, yeah, he's gonna struggle. Off of KD right now. I'm sorry, KD, I didn't mean to send flag your way. The point I'm trying to say is, Kyrie being one of the most eye-pleasing scorers in NBA's probably seen in the last probably decade. I mean, he's a under-the-rim finisher that everybody loves to watch when the NBA is based off of people who are super athletic. But he's out here taking his time, swagging, dribbling, and everybody loves it. So yes, Kyrie is gonna get the better PR. And then I think the other thing people aren't thinking about is, like, there's like the running joke about how Chris Paul has tried so hard to get a ring and he's struggled, and he's tried to go to different teams and struggled. So I feel like compared to Kyrie, Chris Paul definitely has bad NBA stratosphere PR. So like I can see why the young kids who only know Kyrie are agreeing with this, but I think a lot of people I was seeing on Twitter were like also on Chris Paul's side, because like I said, when I first saw it, I thought it was not a no-brainer, but I thought like, yeah, I could see Kyrie being better. But then actually when I actually thought and I was awake, I'm like, wait, wasn't Chris Paul like playing defense and a great playmaker, and he also used to average 20 and 10? Like, no offense to Kyrie, but he's never averaged 10 assists in a season, and stuff like that matters. I mean, you can't just be, yes, Kyrie got the one ring, but no offense, he wasn't even the main player on the team where he got the ring. You see what I'm saying? Another tweet, I'm gonna go to this other tweet real quick. This tweet and this thread, it just makes a lot of sense. It's a pretty classic thing when it comes to ranking players. Kyrie is better at putting the ball in the hoop. Chris Paul is better at basically every other meaningful basketball skill, which is a fact. Better defender, better playmaker, but we tend to just overrate the value of putting the ball in the hoop, and that's NBA. That's always been NBA. Anthony Davis was getting 25 and 10 with 3 blocks and getting no love because he'd have games where he had 20 and 13 with 7 blocks. Because defense doesn't sell for the NBA. Offense is what's always going to sell because people want to score. It's more fun to score. It's more enjoyable to see people score. So that's why offense is always held at such like a higher pedestal. And like, even when you think about it, like the basis of basketball, you're supposed to score more points than the other team. So I do think that Kyrie and his scoring ability should be definitely held up higher than like other attributes, in my opinion. Like, I do think being a prolific scorer is not something that anybody can do. Anybody can be a shot chucker and take a lot of shots, but to be a prolific scorer through multiple seasons, especially as a shorter guard, is not easy if you're not just shooting threes. Like, Kyrie is a rim attacking guard, that can shoot. I'm not saying he can't shoot, but a rim attacking guard primarily that succeeds. So that is one thing. Like I said, man, it's the off season, so these hypotheticals, we're just talking right now. We're really just talking. I'm curious what y'all think about the Kyrie and Chris Paul. Who do y'all think is better peak for peak? We're not talking about right now. We're talking peak for peak. I'm gonna go over some of their career stats real quick with y'all. Then we're gonna get out of here. Like I said, I just thought this was a really funny post I seen. So we got Chris Paul. Shout out Atlanta basketball. Got Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's only played 14, and Chris Paul has played 20. So championships, Kyrie got 1, Chris Paul's got 0. 14 seasons to 20 seasons, 7 playoffs. So Kyrie's played half his career in the playoffs. Chris Paul has played 75% of his career in the playoffs. That's pretty good. All-Star games, Chris Paul was 12, Kyrie Irving with 9. There's a chance Kyrie cut 3 more. I think Kyrie getting 3 more and catching Chris Paul completely is crazy. He could definitely get 1. I could see 1, maybe. There's a lot of good guards now. I think it's hard. Like, it'd have to be a year where a lot of people get hurt, and he's in the West, so it's going to be even deeper with the guards. So, but he is the main guard for Dallas now. So if they do good, he is the main guard for Dallas now. So if they do good, not this season obviously because he's not playing most of the season, but next season he'd be like 37. But if their team does good in the regular season, he plays enough, he could technically get his 10th. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I only see him getting 1 more All-Star game. So Chris Paul's gonna have him beating the All-Star games and the playoffs and the seasons probably. We don't know about the seasons. NBA first team. I didn't know Kyrie never had a first team, and I feel like lots of people didn't know that. Kyrie was really good, but I think his problem is he struggled with playing a lot of games, a lot of seasons. A lot of the seasons he did really good, he would miss time, so he wouldn't get full credit for it. All NBA team total selections, Chris Paul got 11 to 3, almost tripled it plus more. And this was the main thing for me between them. These two, okay. The defensive first team, Kyrie 0, but Chris Paul 7 at 6 foot. All defensive teams, Chris Paul 9 at 6 foot. Those 2 things, and then you got the assist leader, steals leader. Okay, cool. We don't got to go anymore. This is cool. We're not even about to go into the stats for real, because the stats are subjective depending on the era you're in, really. Kyrie was in the era of more scoring and more 3-point shooting, so it's obvious he'll probably have higher points. But if you put a prime Chris Paul on that Pacers team, put a prime Chris Paul on that Pacers team that was in the finals, Chris Paul on that Pacers team, SGA would have been in hell. He would have been hating life, okay? If you like I'm just saying, and I'm not saying it like. And I also think Chris Paul has had some better teams than Kyrie as well. I do think Chris Paul has had better teams than Kyrie. Not okay, because I know Kyrie played with the GOAT, but full teams. Like, he's had more consistently good teams than Kyrie, in my opinion. And then we'll just go regular season real quick. So points per game, Kyrie 23.7, Chris Paul 17. So 5-point difference in basically this different eras. Rebounds, Chris Paul has a little bit more, and he's 3 inches shorter. The assists, it's a big difference, man. Assists, almost 4 more, almost another steal. Kyrie's got him beating the blocks. That's good at least. But like I said, the main thing for me that makes Chris Paul like easily better, not easily, but significantly better than Kyrie is the defense, the playmaking, and the scoring you would get from Chris Paul. While it's not, Kyrie Irving level, Chris Paul showed that he can be the main scorer on a team, on a team that's trying to win games, that's trying to be in the playoffs. Maybe not a finals team, because obviously his career is gone. But that doesn't mean that he's not a good player. And Kyrie, while he is a very good scorer, I think all the other aspects of being a point guard, outside of like ball handling, but even like, okay, the ball handling aspect, let me go into that real quick. So ball handling between Chris Paul and Kyrie, people are going to say Kyrie has the better handles. I promise you, both of them are not going to lose the ball that easily. Kyrie's handles look cooler. I'll give him that. Kyrie does be attacking double teams and triple teams, especially when he was younger. He would attack double teams a lot more to split them. I'll give him that. Chris Paul was more methodical. He would just go right by you because he was faster. And he could still shake you if he wanted to, but he's not going to sit there for a few seconds and cook up like Kyrie does, right? But Kyrie does that because he's a scorer. You see what I'm saying? So yes, Kyrie has a better handle, but at the same time, the handle is not that much of a difference. Kyrie just got a bunch more ankle breakers, which is fine. But the handle does not equate to points. Like Giannis don't got a handle, but he be scoring 30 and 20. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I just think the fact that Chris Paul is just a much better defender and a playmaker just makes this like not really a question. What do you guys think, man? I mean, I love to do NBA breakdowns. This is kind of like a little bit different. Just wanted to talk about conspiracy, I guess. Little off-season random stuff, man. We bored, bro. We still gotta wait till October. So let me know if you guys got any more conspiracies, maybe, or let me know down below. I love to talk about the NBA. I'm gonna put up another video. I'm gonna put another video up like right here. If you like NBA videos, you should check it out. It's your boy Alfie. I got you with the assist. I appreciate you stayed through this whole video. But I'm about to play in a tournament, by the way, so I'm about to head out right now. So if you watch this whole video through, I appreciate you so much. It's your boy Alfie. Have a great day.